This is what everybody asks me. My Facebook page, which is called Suicide is Not the Solution. What is it all about? Well, suicide is not the solution is not just about suicide. It's about depression. It's about how people get sad, get upset, which leads to depression, which leads to suicide. So that is what my ride was all about, in which I covered 111 cities in India and Nepal. In every city I visited, I went to the educational institutions. I conducted seminars about depression, about suicide, and about how the society can be a happy place, a better place. Depression is not about being sad all the time. I've been in depression. Look at these pictures. Do you really think I look depressed? I was in extreme depression at that time. And to tell you the truth, I was in a condition where I would go with friends, have a cup of coffee, have some hookah, crack some jokes, laugh, come back home to be sad again. Come back home to be lonely again. And that time was a very crucial time because I wanted to be happy. It was difficult. My story is not a great story. It is the story of a common person. It is not about a woman. It is not about a mother. It is not about a wife or a daughter. It is the story of a human being. My challenges, my love story, a sad one. We loved each other, but things just did not fall in place. 5 years of my life, I didn't know. The next morning when I would wake up, I would have just one question in my mind. Oh, am I still with him? Or has he left me already? Not because he intended to, but again, because of the society pressure, because he felt he owed a lot to his mom, and his mom wanted a perfect wife, like every other family in India especially. Not being able to let go, not being able to move on, we both punished each other by being together. And finally, we got married. Happily married? Well, that's what I thought. That's what he must have thought too. A marriage which did not last. A lot of things went haywire. A lot of misunderstandings, miscommunication, misinterpretation, and I don't even know what it is. It just went all over the place. Now, this was when I would say I was in that phase where I didn't feel like even looking at myself in the mirror. Obviously, I look ugly. This was the phase when my son was maybe a month old and I was in absolute no control of my senses. I think we all have our priorities when we talk about people around us. I had similar priorities. It just didn't fit in according to the priorities of my partner. It took me a lot of time. It took me 38,000 kilometers to realize why I was not able to be happy, why I was not able to be the typical mother, the mother figure that we all know about, what we read in the books, what we hear from people. I was very upset with myself and I was too shy to even confess that I was not able to do what was expected out of me. And these are the pictures of my son. Here, he was about 15 days, very premature baby. I don't know who to blame. Nobody, the science did not give me a clear-cut answer as to why he was premature, why he was just 1.1 kg when he was born. Extremely underweight. I don't know if it was depression. I don't know if it was something else. But if you ask my heart, I know I was unhappy, and that is why all of this happened. I took good care of him. You see this picture, he's about 3 months in the second picture, and according to the doctor, he was doing fabulous. He was doing just fine. But then I was at the edge where I wanted to end my life. I didn't want to hurt anyone, but I was not able to take the pain, the sufferings. That's when I thought of a foolproof plan of traveling all the way on a motorbike from Hyderabad to Gujarat on the pretext of some work. After all, if I had to leave my son and go somewhere, I had to give a story to my mom. I didn't want to just hang myself because I didn't want people to know that I have committed suicide. And one thing that I would read every day back then was some accident happened on some highway. And I wanted to be one of those lucky few people to be mowed down by a truck, something like that. With those negative intentions, I started off from my house in September last year. And I didn't know that what I was thinking was not what was going to happen to me. I thought it was the end, but it was just the beginning of a new me. And this is where it gets really interesting. Now, being a biker, riding a Royal Enfield, especially the one which is customized, completely white in color with a big tank, it's quite captivating. It didn't matter to me much back then. Now it does. So on my bullet, I started off, and all these people are those very few people who've made a tremendous difference in the way I look at life. They had no idea who I was. A lot of them did not even know my last name. All they knew was, okay, there is a biker who is on a road trip from Hyderabad to Gujarat. Let's go and say hi to her. That was about it. They didn't know my sad story. I didn't even feel like sharing it with anyone because I knew nobody had the solution. Now, after this ride, which lasted for 10 days, where I stayed with a lot of families in Maharashtra, in Gujarat, I went to Rajasthan, to Mount Abu to attend a party wherein I was just invited because they had seen me somewhere. After going through all of these positive things, I really felt good. Would you feel good if there are so many people coming just to meet you without expecting a single thing from you? Would you feel good? And that's exactly what I felt. Whenever I stopped at a fuel bunk, the people working there, they raised eyebrows. Nobody said anything negative. They were very curious to know if I was alone or I was traveling with somebody else. While I'm talking about these incidents, there is this very strong memory that I have, one of my favorite memories, wherein I was on the highway, I don't know where exactly. On the side of the road, on the pavement, I saw a kid about this tall. And the moment he saw me, he was jumping in joy. He was waving at me. I did not stop to take any picture. I moved on, but with every kilometer my bike was covering, I could remember the way he was laughing, and I had a lot of questions for myself. Something like, why was he so happy looking at me? What did I even do to him? Why, or rather, does he even go to school? He didn't even have proper footwear or clothing. He was happy, he looked happy. Now, it's not about that child, it's about my mind which got distracted because of somebody else. Very soon, like I was still thinking about that particular boy, there was a car which just crossed me. And the person sitting in the car, he waved at me, he showed me a thumbs up sign, and I was very happy. Like an absolute stranger just crossing, and he showed a thumbs up sign to me. That was very happy moment for me. And I again started thinking about, what this person is like. Just to share with you, I was thinking, if I was his wife or girlfriend or sister, would he still allow me? Would he still cheer me the way he was cheering me then? I don't know. I don't have that answer. But yes, I realized another thing, that the more I think about another person, the more I can be away from my own problems. And those 10 days of my life were the best, because every night I was able to sleep in peace, something that I had really craved for. And that is when, after returning home, I realized I need to accomplish something in life, something much more meaningful. Being a passionate biker, a trainer by profession, psychology student by education, I thought, why not club everything and do something for the society, for people who are just like me, people who want to be happy but don't know how exactly to be happy. One thing I realized is, examples are better when compared to definitions. And this is where I started my journey to accomplish a bigger mission in life. I got covered in media, newspapers, TV channels, radio stations, and it was a very big thing. Every city I traveled to, there were bikers who came to meet me. There were different clubs who came forward to meet me, to encourage me, people who talked and discussed their problems with me. I got into counseling, and that opened a different realm of the world to me altogether. While I was at the peak, this is something that happened to me. A very bad road accident. I didn't know what to do. When I looked at the mirror, I was not scared. And that was a very different feeling I experienced. After this accident, the doctor told me I'm going to take about 6 months to recover. I recovered in 9 days, and it is all because of the positivity that was going on in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. It was running in my blood because I was doing something which I really, really enjoyed. After the accident, I took rest for 2 days, 2 nights, and I started my journey with a battered face. I conducted seminars with a battered face. I stopped at roadside dhabas to have dinner, breakfast, lunch. People asked me what was wrong, and I did share my story with them about how I met with an accident. And then was the end. I returned home, a homecoming like never before. I don't have a lot of those memories captured on my phone, but then these are 2 of my favorite pictures with all the bikers. One set from Nagpur, the other set from Hyderabad. Out of all the people, all the bikers that I've met, those who've given me a lot of positive energy to accomplish something bigger in life. Due to these people, I was able to interact with people, talk to them, understand their problems very, very severe. There's this girl I've been counseling who was sexually assaulted by her own father for 10 years. And after her father passed away, when she finally confided in her mother, she was sent to a mental asylum because her mother thought that she's cooking up stories. This girl is still facing a lot of trauma. I'm still trying to help her. And like that, there are a lot of other stories, maybe on some other platform, in some other forum. But yeah, because of a lot of people who supported me without even knowing me, I was able to do it for others. All I have to share is this. What I expect is just a smile from you all, not for me, but maybe a random stranger you see on the streets. All you know, that person must be another Sana who is trying to live life once again, who is trying to be happy once again. Thank you so much, and really appreciate your time.